Hey guys, it is me, Jacqueline. For today's video, I have another new adult recommendations video for you guys. This is the third recommendation video I've done for the new adult genre, so if you're interested in my other two videos, I'll leave them down below in the description box. New adult is one of my favorite genres. It's probably one of my most read genres, and so I am super excited to do this video for you guys. I'll probably have another one of these by the end of this year since I am always reading new adult books. If you are interested in the new adult genre or have already dabbled into this genre, I hope this video helps. I have some recommendations that are a little bit more popular, while I have others that are more underrated. And anyway, let's get on to it because I cannot wait to talk about all these books. The first book I have was actually the whole entire reason I wanted to do this video now, and that's because I loved this book and I actually think it's probably one of my favorite new adult books, and that is The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, and this is by MARIANA Zapata. If you hate insta-love, this is the book for you because this is a slow burning romance at its finest. This is a bigger book. I think ebook format for me, it was around 700 pages, but I actually didn't mind that just because it flew by for me, and also since it was bigger, I found we really got to invest more in our characters and this romance. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I read it in only like a few hours. I just found myself so invested in knowing what was going to happen next. Highly recommend if you haven't read it already. Next, I have The Deal, which is by L. Kennedy. You guys actually recommended me this book in my previous new adult recommendations video in the comments section, and I am so glad you guys did. This is the first book in the Off-Campus series, which is a companion new adult series. I am definitely interested in picking up the others since I did really enjoy this one. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I loved the characters and their chemistry and how slowly over time we got to see them progress and build. It was just a lot of fun to read and it just flew by for me. Continuing on, I have It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Are we even surprised I'm mentioning this book? Now, I recently actually reread some of Colleen Hoover's other books, and I found that the first time around I loved them, but when I reread them, some of her books I didn't love as much. I have to say though, this book and Maybe Someday are my two favorites by Colleen Hoover. Compared to the other books she has written, I found this to be entirely different because even though it has sort of her same writing style that is very easy and fast to read, the topics that she talks about and the way that she really pursues this story is very different. This book is raw and real, and it's very hard to explain. I would say that if you are interested in this book, I would definitely just recommend picking it up without reading a summary. Colleen Hoover does a great job at just easing you into a story, and for this one, you can just tell as you're reading it, it is very personal to her, and that sort of leaves a very sincere factor to the story. If you're looking for a new adult novel that isn't exactly fluffy, but more along the lines of leaving you with a lasting impression, I would definitely recommend this one. The next recommendation I have is different from the other ones I've already mentioned, and that's because it actually isn't a new adult contemporary. It is a new adult paranormal novel, and that is Born Sinner by S.L. Jennings. This is a book about angels and demons with some other paranormal aspects, but I found it to be very well done. Just because although the idea of angels and demons have been done over and over again, I found this sort of version of angels and demons to be different and unique and very well developed because it is about a group called the Seven Sinners, which is basically a group of fallen angels, and it's sort of hard to explain in a few sentences what this book is about. I do have a review up on my channel where I talk all about it. Another book I wasn't expecting to love as much as I did was The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. This is another new adult contemporary, and if you like Rainbow Rowell's books, I would definitely recommend this one because for some reason when I was reading this book, it reminded me of the same way I felt when I was reading a Rainbow Rowell book. I am a sucker for those hate-love romances, and that's exactly what this is. I found the characters to be so enjoyable and just easy to connect to. I found these characters had such a great chemistry, and it was just lovely getting to see as their relationship got to build and grow and develop, and over time I fell in love with this romance. If you're looking for something very very fluffy and quick to read. I would definitely recommend this one. Also, it is the author's debut novel, and honestly I think it is such a fantastic one at that. Then I have A Place in the Sun, and this is by R.S. Gray. One of you guys actually recommended me this book, and so one day I decided to pick it up on a whim. I didn't even read the summary, and I am so glad I did because I was so shocked when I found out the setting of this place was one of my favorite places I've ever been in my whole entire life, and so getting to read a new adult romance that was featured in this place was amazing. If you didn't know, this book takes place in Vernazza in Italy. I actually went 2 years ago. I got to see Cicatere, and literally reading this book and getting to just go back to that environment, it was so easy for me to like vividly see exactly what was going on, and it made me realize how badly I want to go back because, yet again, one of my favorite places I've ever been. Besides the location, I really did enjoy our characters and the romance. I did wish it was longer just because this book was under 300 pages and it flew by so fast. I think I finished this in like 2 hours. So honestly, I would definitely recommend this if you've been looking for a book that has sort of a different location, especially one as magical and lovely as this one. The next one I have is Quarter Mile Hearts, and this is by Jenny Siegel. I picked this up on the iBook store like a year ago for free, and then I recently read it and I really enjoyed it. I wasn't actually expecting, yet again, to enjoy it as much as I did. This is a book that features drag racing, and I thought that element was a lot of fun to read about and was sort of entertaining because I haven't really read that many books that feature drag racing. My favorite thing though was probably our characters. This does have a love-hate relationship in this book, which I very much enjoyed. There were some moments that I didn't love, but I found overall this was such a entertaining read. And yet again, I got it for free. I don't know how much it is now, but I would definitely recommend looking into it because it shouldn't be that expensive and it's such a fast-paced book to pick up. Then I have a completed new adult companion series, and that is the On Dublin Street series by Samantha Young. You guys actually recommended me to pick up this series, and I actually did pick up the first book like years ago, and I gave it like a 1 or 2 out of 5 stars. I don't remember anything about it. I don't know why I gave it like a 1 or 2 out of 5 stars, but I decided to reread it this past summer because so many of you guys were recommending me it, and I had no recollection of even reading this book. And so when I reread it, I really enjoyed it and I gave it a 4 to 5 stars, and so that really prompted me to continue on with the others part of this series. If you have been interested in a new adult companion series, I would definitely recommend this one. I loved getting to see like previous characters in the newer books a part of this series. So for example, in the first book we got to see a certain couple, and then as the series progressed we still got to see that couple, and it was just so nice getting to see all these characters interact and grow and develop as time goes by. In general, I gave this series a 3.5 and I would definitely look into it. Very quickly, I wanted to talk about this last book, and although this is very much raved about, I feel like a lot of people overlook the fact it is new adult, and that is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. Yet again, talked about a ton on BookTube, Goodreads, you name it, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. But this is very new adult, and I feel like, yet again, a ton of people overlook that factor. So if you have been interested in this book and you love new adult, definitely recommend it. It is the second book, a part of a series. The first book is okay in my personal opinion, but this book is like 10 times better. Those are all the books I had for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below in the comment section if you have read any of these, or if you have any recommendations for me or other people watching this video. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!